Hello, it's Matthew again. It's about 11:30 on a Monday night, and I'm drinking water. Possibly some other things in a bit, but for now, it is time to do another Ramblin Rorie Thanksgiving edition. I haven't done one of these in a while, so hopefully, no clue why people want to see me talk about things other than movies, but I appreciate it, obviously. Uh, I don't really have much else to say right now. So we're done. We're going to wrap it up. Let me find this email that I wanted to respond to real quick first. Hope everybody's doing well on Thanksgiving. I'm sure none of you are going to watch this because you're all probably having a good time with friends and family. I'll probably be playing Skyrim because I don't leave town for holidays anymore. I barely ever travel unless I'm getting paid to do it for work. I try to fit in family stuff in there on the company dime. Not really, but you know what I mean. Hopefully I'm speaking loudly enough. I have a new roommate, office, apartment, next door neighbor on the other side of that wall. I have been drinking. And I can never tell. It's his living room, though. His bedroom is further back. It's the way the apartment's laid out. This is one bedroom apartment, or this is a studio. He has one bedroom, so hopefully 11:30 he won't hear me talking through the walls. I hate hearing other people. I really hate noisy apartments, and I really hate having other people hear what I'm doing. So I'm probably gonna burp a little bit too. I apologize. I had a lot of pizza. I've been eating a lot of pizza lately, which I really like. I enjoy pizza quite a bit. Let's stay out a little bit. Better. Shit, my bed looks like a mess, but oh well. Also, I've been buying new clothes lately too. I've been buying a bunch of Express stuff because they always have these coupons. I'm not getting paid to say this stuff, but I wish. They've had a lot of coupons lately, and what they do is they'll give you you go in and buy stuff at the store, and they'll give you $25 like off the next time you come in. So it's a vicious cycle of buying stuff and getting more stuff on sale. I'm sure they probably retail on that stuff is probably twice as much as what it should be, and then they just give you the sale to get you to feel like you're special. But it works. It really works. And also winter is when I can really dress up a little bit nicer than I do in the summer. I get really sweaty really easily. I sweat a lot. I don't sweat a lot, but I sweat pretty quickly in any kind of heat. So I normally just wear a t-shirt in summer. But now it's winter, I can layer up a little bit. It's a bit cooler. Oh no. Oh no. I just saw a video called Pugs Playing Soccer. Oh my goodness. Pugs Chase Balloon. Oh, here we're gonna watch this together. I'm sorry for the fuzzy, shaky bit of it. Oh my god! Look at that. Those pugs are so excited. Oh, they're so excited. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at him go. Oh, there it goes. There's the ball. Oh, they can get through there too. I like how there's one pug that just doesn't care at all. Like, what are you guys doing? I don't care. This guy have a boxing ring set up in his background or something.
JC, go try to pop it.
What are the odds are of this thing popping at the end? Yep, he's trying to hump it. How does he know I'm all by... Oh, there's my weed plant. Oh, my weed. Get away from the weed. Oh, they're adorable. I love puggies. They're so dumb. They just look dumb. You can tell. Oh, look at him go. Bang, bang, bang. What is this drum set? Like Christmas lights or something? Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. Get away from the weed. Get away from the weed. Let's see how much more there is in this. Got 20 more seconds. Sorry if this is disrupting to your...
No, it was a wine. It was nobody got hurt.
Bonkity bonkity bonk. Pugs. Everybody else is bored now, except for that one little guy. Well, can all agree that was exciting, I think. Yes, that's that was a pug playing. Sleepy Kitten. Oh my God, Pug Sunday. Oh no! Oh no! Look at all these. Look at all these pugs. I want to play with them all. I want a pug. Oh my gosh, that's wrong. I can't even look at that anymore. Anyway, so I've been buying more clothes and I can dress up a little fancier in the winter, which I like doing. I like dressing up. But you kind of need layers to do it really well. And it's tough to for me to layer. Boring story. How long has this been? It's already been 5 minutes. I haven't even started answering questions. I got plenty of questions to go through. So, Trey wanted to know. He says this question is directed more towards as a wannabe budding film critic. I'm fascinated by the process professionals go through in composing their critiques, and wonder if you might share your personal process, either in a premium video or just talking through it on a Ramblin Rorie. It's a good question. It usually is abject panic at not knowing if I'm going to have anything ready to go by the time I want to get a review up. Any kind of writing, it's always the toughest parts are always the intro and the outro. The middle stuff is not difficult. That's mostly explanation and a little bit of opinion. But then coming up with some kind of hook to make something interesting right away is difficult, very difficult. Alex is way better at it than I am, as far as I can tell. So as far as the process goes for writing reviews, usually I take notes. I don't think I have a notebook here handy, and I don't want to like get up and let you guys see what's behind my. There's something back here, but process-wise, gosh. So I just saw the Descendants tonight, and I will probably try to write the review before I go to bed. I like to write it as soon as possible. The main problem I think we have, not to get off topic, but the main problem I think we have is time frame. It's really tough to see a movie at midnight and have to write that review the next day. Obviously, I way prefer to have, a critic screening to go to, which is usually like a Tuesday, and you can write your review on Thursday and have it up whenever you want to. Kind of time frame would be better for me because I do like to go back and revise some writing. Don't always have a lot of time on the web to revise a lot and iterate and edit your own stuff. But for reviews especially, it feels unfortunate that we don't have more time to work on those. But in terms of process goes, I usually will... I should probably start with the middle, knowing my weakness and getting the intro and outro done. Usually I'll try to write some kind of intro. And you've read my reviews, they're usually pretty bad. They're just kind of like, oh, here's what this guy did before, and this is why this new movie kind of fits in that schematic. And then there's some kind of pithy last sentence to the intro paragraph that hopefully will draw people in to the rest of the review, which is usually, I mean, I have a formula for mine. Not excuse me, not intentionally, but I usually do go to, kind of here's a plot summary. Here's what all the actors did. Here's what I liked about the movie and don't like about the movie. So here are some notes for something. Oh, this is from In Time. So I try to write down odd, whatever comes and pops into mind. There's not very many of long for In Time. I didn't have a huge amount of time to write. So I wrote melancholic, Eloy/Morlocks, got a minute, spare change, affecting a grizzled cop affectation, sedate, spend my whole life trying not to die by mistake. So some of those are quotes, some of those are ideas that came out of the whatever phrases that I thought were might be appropriate in a review, but none of them I don't actually think I used. I took more notes on the Descendants tonight, but don't have that here. It's in my backpack. Which in any case very long distance away. It's too far to go. It's like a whole 10 feet away. I don't think there's a process for me. I sit down and I try to write an intro first, and usually that can take half an hour to an hour sometimes. Middle stuff is easy, that goes really quick. Outro can be tough as well. Again, a lot of times I'll get through a whole review and just try to write that last outro and not have anything to say. or not have anything way to sum up an experience that feels like a unique way of saying a thought. Anybody can say, this movie was good, watch it, or this movie was bad, don't go watch it. That's kind of the cop-out for review ending. You have to have some kind of, I like something pithy, something funny or unique to say about a movie. So usually that takes the longest time. And then I would love to go back and do more. I don't do a lot of metaphors, don't do a lot of similes in my writing, which sometimes can be funny if you do them right, but I don't have the time to always go back and come up with great metaphors. So it's probably a really bad answer to the question about the process. I really don't have a huge one. It's just a couple of hours of banging stuff out and banging my head against a wall trying to sum up thoughts on a film. And usually it's easier when a film's either really good or really bad. Films in the middle are tougher to write about, I find. Especially ones that are just kind of straightforward and don't have a lot of unique things to say. Sometimes that can be really good. Sometimes movies can be comforting and not be exceptional. But those are just the hardest ones to come up with any kind of. It's like, hey, it's a movie. Hey, it's a movie. So, anyways, I'm gonna go to the. I hope that answers the question somewhat, Trey. If you have any questions about it, feel free to email me. I'll try to get back. And I apologize. I've been really bad about getting back to people on email and PM lately. I've been under the weather still for a while. For about the last month or so, just sniffles and not feeling well. So I use that as an excuse to get. By the way, I'm not pouring myself a drink. I do have a nice little bottle of Eagle Rare, and the guy at BevMo did this. It comes wrapped up in this kind of gifty package but he actually managed to scan this barcode down here without taking the thing off, and he actually managed to slip it back on. I was really impressed because normally they just rip the stuff off, which I'm gonna do now. I just should have just told him to rip it off because I don't really care. It's from me. Nice bourbon. Ryan Davis flipped me on to Eagle Rare as a good option, and it's quite good. It has a cool bottle too. I like the bottle. I got a big old eagle on there. Single barrel Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. I don't know what proof this is. Something like 80, 100, something like that. It's good. Yeah, it's good. Ooh, that's a San Francisco favorite. Anywho, I'm gonna pour myself a little bit before we get into the Ramblin Rorie. Oh man, the really annoying thing is that this little bit here has been kind of cutting into my hand when I'm trying to find my X-Acto knife. Where'd you go, X-Acto knife? I have a few. There we go. I have a few desktop tools that I always like to have around. X-Acto knives are one of my favorite. Never underestimate having something sharp around to do stuff like this with, or just chop up, things. It sounds really weird, but anyways, I'm gonna take that off here. And now I have unfettered access to my bourbon. So Eshan. Which movie shows documentary would you suggest is a crime not to see in Blu-ray? I recently got my first Blu-ray player, and I'm having trouble coming up with shows to buy for my very first Blu-ray collection. Obviously, for Blu-ray, I think if you're talking about things that are essential to watch on Blu-ray, I think of things that are very colorful and things that move very fast. And it sounds like an odd thing to say, but if you ever watch Speed Racer on DVD and put it on Blu-ray after that, some things like that can really be pop and noticeable. A lot of DVD players now are upscaling, and upscaling is not the same as playing Blu-ray, but DVDs can still look pretty damn good if you have, like, I have a 27-inch TV. It's not that great, so 720p. There's a definite difference between DVD and Blu-ray, but not to the point where I often feel like I'm going to buy a Blu-ray just to future-proof stuff, but I don't always feel like, I certainly don't have the kind of home theater experience where I need Blu-ray. I don't want to spend 10 more bucks on it. Excuse me. I would say the Pixar stuff. Anything CGI, I would definitely recommend Blu-ray. I think that's always kind of the best way to go. But yeah, recent high-speed action, colorful things I think are definitely necessary to see on Blu-ray. I mean, if you have a Blu-ray player, you should basically start buying Blu-rays instead of DVDs. I mean, you're going to want to have those things around. I'm trying to come up with good movies suggestions for that. I think all the Pixar stuff is really good. I don't necessarily think you need to have like Star Wars, the Blu-ray set. Probably not a huge deal. I don't think you need a lot of comedies in Blu-ray. Terrence Malick, I would say any visual director, intense visual director, I'd say that you should definitely pick up the Blu-rays of. Special effects driven stuff, CGI stuff. I wish I had more specific buy this Blu-ray. I got Dust Boat the other day, or not the other day, but a long time ago, and haven't even watched it yet. But I buy DVDs and Blu-rays pretty rarely, so basically whenever I buy something, I buy it on Blu-ray. So I'm probably not the best person to answer that question. I'm sorry. You should ask another form, though. Ask some people what the best Blu-ray they own is, and they will tell you. Dark Knight is a really good one, too. If you had to pick one, Dark Knight. Vince Video Games. What are your thoughts on RPGs like Earthbound or the Persona games where you play as normal kids in a normal world who try to balance their normal lives with the supernatural? I have not played Earthbound or the Persona games. You know, I haven't played a lot of JRPGs in a while. Used to play a bunch in the SNES days, and even up to I decide if I can hear my neighbor's music or not. It's like 11:30. It's probably a little late for music time. It's 11:50 now. Oh, it's just somebody outside. All right. Dude, I hate hearing noises. I like quiet. So I haven't really played a huge amount of JRPGs in a while. I know those are older games. Persona still PlayStation 2, I think. I don't know if you count like Dark Souls as a JRPG, but really is like Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 12, Final Fantasy 10. I did play Tales of Vesperia, which I have not finished yet. I've always meant to go back to it, but I haven't played that. But I haven't played many of those kind of like high school kids casting spells and shit to go into a different world. Unfortunately, I play a fair amount of American RPGs. Made a couple American RPGs, if you know what I'm talking about. Horrible thing to say. I didn't have very much input on those things at all. So yeah, lately I've when I game, I try to get into the lighter stuff. I haven't played Skyrim, which I think we're going to talk about in a bit. Unfortunately, I don't. Ooh, feels good. Unfortunately, I don't have the framework to answer that question. Sorry. I wish I did. I wish I had a wider knowledge of RPGs, but I mean, RPGs when they take 100 hours to beat, that's a lot of time to do. Sorry. I focus on stuff I really want to play. Although I am tempted by the new Disc Gaia, which I've always heard a lot of people liking a lot. But again, I've heard people spending like 300 hours on those games and not getting through. So, Primus wants to know, since you are invested in both movies and games, what game do you think would actually produce a good movie adaptation and could maybe salvage the disaster that games adapted to the big screen have been so far? A good movie adaptation from a game. I mean, there's a lot of games that just have no reason becoming movies. But in terms of something recently that I would love to see, gosh, I don't think it would be Assassin's Creed, because I think Prince of Persia proved that is a tough genre to do. I think you need something with a great, compelling idea, first off, like a really good hook, that people are going to want to go see, even if they don't familiar with the video game. I'm trying to think of the games that I've played lately that I would think would be adequate for a movie adaptation, but not a lot of things are really coming to me. Maybe Red Dead Redemption might be the kind of one of the cooler ones, but then again, that game is already playing off of the tropes of a movie genre, so it might be a little redundant at that point. There's another one that I have to think of. I swear to God, I read these questions before I started doing this, and it's the Evil Devil whiskey, alcohol, firewater. That's probably sapping my mind of stuff. I don't really have a lot of games stacked up here, unfortunately. Do Dark Souls. I still haven't beaten yet. I got to Smo and Orstein, or whatever the names are, and I just kind of like, okay. I probably will start this over at some point and try it again. But I just kind of got to the point where I played it for 50 hours in a week or something like that. And just kind of, okay, I'm all right. I'm all right for a little while on Dark Souls. I'm sure there are great game candidates to be turned into movies, but I can't really sum up any right now, unfortunately. Bunkerbuster05 says, love the site and all that goodness. My question is, what is your favorite movie of the year so far? Mine would be between Drive and Midnight in Paris. That's a really good question. I was thinking back over the 5-star reviews that I've given this year, and I haven't given many. Only 2 or 3, I think. I think I did Source Code, Harry Potter. Wow, what else did I give 5 stars to? I don't even know if we can sort by highest. Here we go. Okay, we can. I Am Love. No, that was last year. Last year, Mother. Dragon. Hasn't been a great year. Up. Did I review Up? Oh, Alex did. Some of these are from before he even started the site. And then it's just going to repeat the whole list again. I haven't even started to think about my favorite movie of the year. I really haven't. It's such a weird time to be in this whole thing now where we're coming up on the Oscar movies, and hopefully something really good will impress me over the last couple months of the year, because I don't think it's been a great year for movies, to be honest with you. I don't think it's really been. I don't think we've had a lot of really punchy stuff coming out that I think will last a long time. I do. If I had to pick a movie, I'd probably say Drive. That movie was a great sensation of being in a theater and watching something that you thought was going to maybe last for a little while. So, Harry Potter was great though too. In terms of populist entertainment and an adaptation of something, I thought that movie was great, legitimately great, and I quite enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Harry Potter. So. Maybe one of those two. And if you told me last year that I would say Harry Potter and any kind of list like that, I think that would be, I would have told you not to talk to me ever again. But they did a great job with Deathly Hallows Part 2. So. Greg D says, does it mean I'm a good person when I die a little every time you talk about the damaging powers of Twilight? I mean, I think the thing that bothers me the most is that there's so many girls, women who are susceptible to this nonsense. And it's oddly enough, I just wrote something today about it on the site too. I'm going latest. I'm going backwards. Okay. That's why. Okay. So, oddly enough, I thought I was going from first to last, which I totally meant to do. I'm going to switch it back to first and last now. We're going to get through all these questions, but I thought I was going from first to last. Somebody probably thought I skipped their question, so I'm sorry, but I'm going to go back to that in a bit. I totally forgot what the question was that I just asked myself. Twilight, let me save that one for, I'll do it now. So it is good to be upset by Twilight. I find that whole series to be very, people mock it and parody it and things like that, but I think it's still not something that's really funny to me, and how shitty it is and how negative the effects it might have on people are. So I do think it's good to be worried about Twilight. And I don't like it at all. And I think I said a lot of that in that article that I wrote, which I've been thinking about for a while. And it's not that I'm adding anything new to the debate about Twilight. There's been plenty of blogs and bloggers and people writing books about how Twilight is probably a bad influence on people. So, but it's good to be skeptical of anything that's very popular, always. But Twilight especially is deserving of that scorn. So yes, I would definitely be proud of yourself for being upset about it. Milkman, so I'm going to go back to the beginning of the questions, and hopefully, Milkman, I hope you didn't think I skipped your question. Milkman says, you're a Thanksgiving gift. I just want to know how Skyrim is going for you. What kind of character are you playing? What are your general thoughts on the game? Like it better than Oblivion and Morrowind? I definitely like it better than Oblivion and Morrowind so far. Oblivion had a really fucked up leveling scheme where you had to put some of the skills that you like a lot into your minor skills thing, so you don't level up too fast and things don't get you. It was retarded. Sorry, retarded. I shouldn't say retarded. I apologize. It was a very complex and obfuscated leveling system, and Skyrim so far is great. Skyrim, you just keep on leveling up. You save your perks. I saved a lot of my perks for the first like 5 or 10 levels, and just I'll allocate them later when things get harder, and that worked out great. I've only misspent one perk so far, which I really hate. I put a point at the Dwarven armor when I was actually going to light armor for my characters, so I didn't quite realize that you could actually split that smithing branch in two. But so far, I like it a lot. I'm going pretty stealth, archery, melee, not a lot of spells so far, and then a lot of smithing. And I just got up to glass armor, and I'm looking forward to get over to dragon stuff. So I'm going to try to craft myself a set of glass armor. I might actually see about disenchanting the thief armor that they gave me and re-enchanting glass armor with the same bonuses that stuff has, because it is pretty useful stuff. But so far I like it a lot. It's really runs well on PC. A lot of the mods are still kind of trickling out, but the action is really kind of still need to do something about the melee action, especially. It's very because I played Dead Island before I came into Skyrim, and Dead Island has very intense melee combat. You can really feel your character moving and chopping arms off and everything like that. Is fantastic stuff, which I think they should learn from other melee-driven games. Because in Skyrim, it's very just kind of silly and slow and just kind of nobody ever really moves that way. I don't think so. I think they should have a lot of work to improve on there whenever they do another Oblivion game in 5 years. I like it a lot, though. I have a lot of fun just wandering around and picking up herbs. I haven't even done all much alchemy. I just have like a chest full of ingredients. I did a lot of alchemy in Oblivion, so I'm really looking forward to making some poison. But for now, I just collect a lot of stuff. All right, J33UK, Juke. Talking about, with the release of the latest TNG Blu-ray trailer, I was absolutely amazed with the amount of fidelity they managed to take from some of the big FX scenes, like those crazy jellyfish aliens taken off. At the same time, some of the shots of more mundane things exposed some really ugly flaws. The uniform looked really goddamn cheap and beaten up, and you can see the glue splattered over Michael Dorn's face. And the bridge, quite frankly, has cheap wooden accents that look beaten to all hell. I know we all want to see TNG looking its best, but does that necessarily mean an HD conversion? That sounds like the kind of stuff people started talking about when porn started going to Blu-ray or HD, because people always say, oh, they're going to see their pimples and stuff, and that's going to be horrible for porn. I don't know the answer to that. I didn't notice the kind of stuff that you did. I'm very, very forgiving of TNG in terms of the Trek in general. I'm very forgiving of. I know the fact that they have to work on a limited budget for a lot of those shows, and hey, we need a new alien that's going to have a guy with weird earrings, and that'll be his whole alien thing. So those shows were very very budgetary focused. I'm sure I think they do. I think the fact that we're watching, you probably saw some of that stuff from the first season, and I think the first season was probably the worst in terms of obviously the uniforms were really terrible, and a lot of the set design was kind of still coming into its own. So I definitely think we need an HD conversion. If they're going to do that, I would love to buy a Blu-ray of TNG. I don't think I will. I'll probably just wait for it to stream, but yeah, I hope it's good. We'll know more in a couple months, I suppose. Sure, okay. Says, in an earlier RR, you mentioned that you didn't like Magnolia. You started to explain why, but didn't really say much. Something about Amy Mann's involvement. Can you explain further? I'm interested. I thought that movie was... It was transparently kind of a love letter to Amy Mann, and I don't care so much for Amy Mann. And I thought the sing-along section was one of the most... Here's a movie about characters, and then we're going to draw everyone out of the movie and make a music video for 5 minutes and have people sing along to the same song at the same time. And I think it was supposed to feel magical, and maybe some people did, but I thought it was so dumb. Just dumb. I was cringing in my seat when I was watching it. I think some parts of that movie are very good. I like Tom Cruise's role a lot. But I just, I don't care about Amy Mann, really. And when you make a movie, and it wasn't so much just sing along, but kind of this relentless, hey, this lady's playing music really loud, and the cops got to come, and it's got to be Amy Mann music. I appreciate the fact that she's probably very talented, but I just haven't liked very much of her stuff that I've heard. So um, that was the major part of it. I thought it felt very indulgent in another way. In other words, um, compare and contrast to Cameron Crowe, who loves music a lot and spends a lot of money on his films and music acquisitions. But he has music that swells up, case in point, the Tiny Dancer sing along in Almost Famous was fantastic. It felt in the moment felt like a really good kind of people coming together over a song, whereas the Amy Mann stuff just felt like I didn't feel the characters felt like they were relating something of P.T. Anderson's own personal thing, which to a degree, I guess you can't get away from it from writing a film. Some of the characters are gonna reflect to you, but when they all come together over a song that I didn't give a shit about, I thought that was kind of indulgent. I don't like indulgencies in my films. That's probably a little whingy. I don't know the word. It's probably not a great. It's not. I didn't review that film. That was well before we started doing. It's probably not a valid criticism, is what I'm trying to say. But it is something that I felt when I saw it. So, 5 out of 5. What is your alcoholic beverage of choice? Since eggnog is on shelves again, I like mixing it with whiskey. Thanks and keep on being awesome. Well, thank you. I will try to keep on being awesome. I haven't been drinking a huge amount lately. I've been trying to ease off. I do like bourbon. If I'm buying liquor for the house, bourbon is definitely the number one choice. I like it straight. Maybe a little bit of ice in there if I want to open it up, or a few drops of water. Generally, a straight bourbon is one of life's rare pleasures. And this isn't even this is decent stuff. This is 23 bucks a bottle. This is not anything super fantastic. They do make Eagle Rare like 17-year. This is 10-year, I think. The standard, 10-year. They do make stuff that is 17, 20 years, and you can buy that stuff for like 85 bucks a bottle. And I hear it's really, really good. I've never been quite the connoisseur of alcohol that some people have. I don't really like craft beer even. I'm not a big beer is weird to me. I like lagers and pilsners, and that's Hefeweizens maybe. Lighter stuff, yellow beer. Anything too dark. I don't like stouts at all. I don't like porters. I don't like anything black. But for liquor, it's basically either gin. Gin is the other big one. My drink of choice if I'm going to a bar is either a nice little vodka martini dirty, or a gin gimlet on the rocks. One of those two. Gin gimlets in bars are very sweet, unfortunately, a lot of the time. They'll load them up with that roses stuff. Roses, sweet, and lime juice. Which I thought I had a bottle up here. But little goes a long way. And it'll be like half roses sometimes. Which is basically undrinkable. It's a really terrible drink. So you never know what you're going to get with a gimlet in a bar. But dirty vodka martini up. That is basically just, hey, vodka, olive juice. I just skip the bitters even. You don't need that stuff in there. So yeah, I would say that. I'm not a big eggnog guy. I'm talking really fast now, so I apologize about that. I'll try to slow it down a little bit, but when I drink, I enjoy it. Excuse me. I really apologize. I hate burping on camera. Maybe I'll just lean off to the side, but I've been drinking a lot of water on top of this, and I had a bunch of pizza earlier, so talk with my hands a little bit. 10-story mother. What is the most difficult part of being the face of a website? It seems the sheer amount of work you must perform each day for the site to remain refreshed would be overwhelming, especially since Whiskey Media places such a premium on video content. Aside from our work, is it the continual pull to connect and build the site's community, the thinking it takes to create fresh ideas, or maybe the company meetings I'm sure you're required to attend? Thanks for keeping up the good work. I enjoy the site, especially the premium Ramblin Rorie. It's been an interesting last 6 months or so, I will say. So everybody knows that Alex splits his time between Screen and Giant Bomb now. And I thought we were going to have somebody employed, another full-time Screen person for a while now, but focus has been elsewhere on lately for the company. So we will get somebody eventually, hopefully sometime early next year. but it has been a lot of work over the last 6 months to run screen. And if I have any kind of qualifications for this job, it is a ceaseless and everyday sense of panic that I'm not putting up enough stuff, or not enough stuff is going up, not enough interesting stuff is going up. And I think we've tried recently to, you probably noticed a little bit of this. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just, the one thing I do like living by myself is I can burp as loudly as I want to. But I can't do that now because I respect you too much. Just ceaseless panic of how much stuff we're putting up, whether it's any good, whether or not anybody's going to read it. Should we do more top 10 lists? There are a lot of things we could do to screen that would make it more popular, probably. And we're doing all right traffic-wise, but like I go to other sites and it's like, hey, the top 5 movies that Crystal was in that have Batman in them, and just nothing. A lot of sites go to Forbes sometime, and you'll see, hey, we have an article, but we need to make that headline into something about the top 7 or the top 5 or 5 reasons why you should blah blah blah. And I hate that with passion, just a burning passion in my heart and in my belly. I hate that stuff so much. I hate gaming headlines, and I understand the need for search engine picking up stuff, and but I hate a lot of what other sites do. And a lot of other sites just focus on news bites all day long, which I find really boring as well. So what we've been trying lately is to do more commentary. Editorial feature work. Trailers are kind of the perennial filler feature for us. We'll put up a trailer for anything because it'll eventually be relevant to somebody. Reviews, video features. Video features are definitely difficult to be the only person writing those scripts because they do take a lot of time. Imagine, side grades is 2 movies, 2 2-hour movies to say 4 hours of watching, but I usually pause a lot while I watch, take time codes down. So then another hour or 2 for scripts, and then Joey takes a whole day or 2 to get that stuff done. So one video feature can sometimes take 10, 14 hours of man time to get it up on the site. And that's usually, for my part, I don't do that during work hours. I do that at home, in the evening, or on the weekend. So that is all kind of free time, quote unquote, taken up by work. I'm trying to think what else you asked. The trying to think up fresh ideas is also I have a little notepad of ideas that could be perennial, like editorial things, but we're trying to more use the news now as springboards towards writing more in-depth articles about things that are going on that aren't quite, it's not just, hey, there's this news thing that happened, blah, blah, blah. It's supposed to be more about engaging people in ideas and talking about broader stuff than just what's going on in the news. So that has been a tough shift to try to do lately, but we're pulling through, I think, and hopefully we'll get some new freelancers at some point, and it'll all be better. Hopefully we'll get somebody else to come in here too and be another full-time person. Until then, I basically just have, I work a lot, and I totally enjoy my job quite a bit, and I'm probably rambling on too much for this question, but so the difficult part of being in the face is that, definitely you are the only person. And if you don't like me, at this point, you probably don't like Screened. Because I do write the most stuff, probably, I would assume. And I'm the only one who's on videos. So that's been my worry about it. Because if you have no great love for Matthew Rorie, you don't probably enjoy a lot of Screen content right now. I think we're harmed by not having more viewpoints represented on the website. So, but hopefully that will rectify itself at some point soon. Hopefully that answers your question. So Zvepi asked what the same thing that the second question was Trey's question about the review thing. Zvepi asks, could you speak about your reviewing method? Do you take notes, go straight to writing, or let it sink in, etc., etc.? Usually, if I go to a midnight Thursday movie, I usually sleep first before. Oh man, it's like a pimple on my neck. Really annoying. I usually sleep and then write it in the morning, unless I'm feeling really inspired. Like with Inception, I stayed up all night writing that review, just because I felt like I couldn't sleep after seeing that movie. But hopefully, what I answered Trey's question before was applicable to you. Skywing says, are there any singular moments that you can remember that helped foster your interest in film and television? I think in college we had a really good VHS rental library in the library of my college, and I started renting a lot of Kurosawa movies. And I think that was part of the big thing that expanded my knowledge of film and the knowledge that there were people out there who had done stuff that I wasn't even remotely familiar with, but which was still awesome. And there was also a great theater, which I'm curious if it's still open. Blacksburg, Virginia Independent Theater. I forget what it's called. The Lyric. So I guess it's still open. It looks like it is showing more. When I was in college, that was a good 10 years ago. It was showing mostly indie stuff. I saw Run Lola Run there. I saw Pi there. I saw some great films there. Now it's Moneyball and The Ides of March. So I'm assuming it has become some kind of second run. They're doing Sarah's Key. They're doing Juxtaposition, The Way, Moneyball, Ides of March, Grease Sing Along, Elf at 10 a.m. So it looks like they've kind of mixed their stuff up a little bit and done more mainstream stuff. This is Spinal Tap at Midnight. But the Lyric Theater when I was in college was a great way to see new foreign stuff. I saw Princess Mononoke there. Fucking fantastic. That moment where he catches the arrow, sublime. Like that, everybody in the audience just got like, yeah. One of the most badass moments, I think, in movie history, even if it was animated. So I would say the Lyric Theater in Blacksburg, Virginia was one of the things that helped spur my interest in a wider, broader array of film beyond just, shit blowing up movies. John, it appears that Arnold Schwarzenegger is jumping back in acting after a relatively long hiatus. How successful do you think he will be, considering he can no longer rely on his physical gifts and will have to actually act? Well, he is filming something now. I think he's filming some kind of faux Western. I would not be surprised to see Hollywood movie magic make him out to be a monster god of steroid abuse. That sounds really mean. I'm sure he's been hitting the HGH like Stallone has been. I would not be surprised to see him looking pretty fit. He got a little shape as a governor, but I have a feeling his physical attributes are the one thing that everybody kind of knows and loves about him. So I don't think they're going to downplay that at all. I don't think he's a great actor by any stretch of the imagination, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm speaking too honestly now. There's a campiness to Arnold that everybody seems to love, and I certainly find it amusing sometimes. He even when he is comedy, it's kind of. Even when he went into comedy, he was kind of playing off his persona as Arnold. What a crazy juxtaposition of Arnold, the action star, being in a comedy. But even before that, the movies he was making were either hyperbolically unreal, like Commando, or Commando was pretty campy too. A lot of his movies, even his action movies, were pretty fucking campy. So I would not be surprised at all to see if you. Obviously, I'm back at some point. Probably it's the first time he comes into on screen. I don't know. I'll be curious to see it. I think they'll advertise him quite heavily. I think the curiosity factor will be a big deal for his first movie. But I don't know. I wish him well. Hopefully, it's a good. He makes better choices than he did when he was making like Collateral Damage. That's all I know. Hassle in the Castle. Let's talk music videos. Any standout favorites? And do you think there's a place for a music video related material on screen? I, for one, really enjoyed Tom's An Eye for Music series. The Eye for Music series was something I think Tom really liked doing, and it was kind of interesting to everybody, but it never did good traffic at all. Like, this is not zero, but not good traffic, the kind of traffic that we would need to have if we're going to pay somebody, you know, X dollars to write a feature every week. It just did really poorly traffic-wise, so we killed that a long time ago. So I wouldn't say that we're going to have a lot of music video feature stuff on our homepage. If I had to talk about stand-up favorite music videos, wow. I haven't watched MTV in a long time. I don't even watch a lot of YouTube music videos. It's only if I like a song, and then I mostly play it on YouTube and just kind of close that or minimize that tab. So I wouldn't say I have too many stand-up favorite music videos, at least not over the last few years. I have a hard enough time keeping up with music lately. And a lot of the bands I like don't even make music videos, man. But if I had to go back all time for music videos, no, I don't have any stand-up favorite music videos. I wouldn't say. No, I'm sorry. Complete blank. I know people love the Gorilla stuff and other things, but I cannot think at the moment of any really interesting music video. And you guys are gonna hate me for that because I know there's plenty of amazingly brilliant ones out there, but for me, the pleasure of music is often about the music and not the visual accompaniment to it. So, yeah, that's my answer. I don't dislike music videos by any means. I actually quite enjoy. Used to quite enjoy MTV when it was actually playing music. So I would have to think about that a little bit more. I might do that at some point. Just ping me about it sometime, and I'll see if I can come up with some answers. I'm gonna stop playing with this corkscrew. Probably making noise. Blubba says, I might be jumping the gun here a little bit, but after the season is over, how long do you think we would have to wait for a second season of Box Office Winners League? It's a feature I really like, and it doesn't seem like it requires too much editing work. If there is a second season, are there any changes you would like to make? Would there be more people interested in competing? We're going to take a break for the next week at least, and on the bowl, as we call it around here. And then we're going to sit down and think about some of the things to do with it. It's pretty fun. I don't mind doing it. It takes, you know, super short amount of time. Joey does most of the work on it. Whew. I should let that sit a little bit more for the real good burn. If you have that, bourbon, it has to be that kind of rolled around the mouth. It's like mouthwash. So yes, we're definitely gonna do some more. I think that's a safe bet. We want to have some kind of community input. Maybe pick mods or somebody from the community to put in their guesses as well. I know people have been doing that on forums, which is really cool. Yeah, so I think we'll definitely be back. And I haven't thought too much about changes we want to make yet. I feel weird about the whole winner take all, closest one gets it. I feel like it could be better to just do it like a percentage wise somehow, or something that would seem a little bit more mathematically fair. But it is what it is. Christmas, if we have one for Christmas, that should be fun because there's like 6 movies coming out really on top of each other. Yeah. Final Dawson says, what has been the biggest surprise that has come from scanning through the screened wiki, and what next step can the wiki take to make it better? As far as surprises from the scan wiki, I wish I was in the wiki more than I was. I still love Gort's Next Generation write-ups on the Next Generation episodes. Not a big surprise, but he did have some pretty good trivia that I didn't know about for some of those episodes. I'm not sure if he's still doing that stuff, but it was pretty cool stuff that he was writing. And as far as what the next step can the wiki take to make it better, I think we probably should try to find more people to edit it and communicate the fact that probably do a better job of communicating the fact that Screened is a wiki. I don't think a lot of people who come to the homepage necessarily pick up on that. I think a lot of people probably bounce out after reading an article or two. There is a depth of Google that goes straight to the wiki, which is really cool, and people do find out a lot of stuff through there. And we just need to convert more of them into actually writing wiki stuff, which is tough. And one of my problems is definitely trying to, and to go back to 10-story mother's question, keeping the community going and trying to post on the forums and keep the wiki. It's a lot of different things that are on my plate. Like, you know, I got to write, I got to do video scripts. I try to be in the forums as probably could do a better job there, and I could do a better job about encouraging people to do wiki stuff. It's just I have to. My job is basically keep the homepage updated, and that's what I try to focus on. So there are more hours in the day. I wish I could. I wish I had time to write wiki articles myself, but I don't. I really don't. I wish I did. I would enjoy doing that, but I appreciate everybody who takes the time to do it because it's an unappreciated job probably, but you are building something that's really cool. We all are, really, in a way. Everybody who pays for Whiskey Premium does have some great putting a brick in the old building. All right, I'll let this one sit for a bit. So when the tongue kind of feels like it's on fire, that's the really good part of the bourbon. I wonder if it's flammable. Probably not. Okay, Chili Palmer says, what is the most disturbing movie you have ever seen? I just watched a Serbian film, and holy shit, that movie's fucked up in every way imaginable. I have heard a lot about a Serbian film, but I've never seen it. I don't... I avoid movies that are, I think, disturbing movies. I probably just avoid them for the most part. I don't find myself to be... I don't enjoy pushing my own buttons or getting freaked out by films or films that depict horrible things happening to people. I really don't enjoy that very much at all. Funny Games, I could never watch. I never got through that. I just found the whole premise just to be awful. And movies like that I find to be very uncomfortable and disturbing, which is probably a weakness for me as a film person. But not every movie I love has this whole kitties on rainbows or whatever, but I stay away from the stuff that feels like it's just shocking to be shocking. I know Funny Games is probably a bad thing to be putting into that category because Funny Games did have kind of a commentary on America, especially. But so if I had to say, probably the first Gold Dragon Tattoo might be a recent entry, but that movie did not pull any punches in terms of graphic rape, and I was pretty uncomfortable to sit there in the theater. It was actually not very fun at all. So that'd probably be my go-to choice. But again, I shy away fairly well from movies that pull those buttons. I don't know what that means. So yeah, I don't have a really great interest. I've seen Cannibal Holocaust. I've seen some stuff like that when I was growing up in high school. And Legend of the Overfiend, probably a really bad one too. One of the originators of the tentacle rape stuff. I've seen some shit, man. Yeah, my friend Danny in high school had some screwed up Japanese movies that we watched together. Ichi the Killer, pretty gross. Some of those, one of those in there probably would be the worst. Cannibal Holocaust is pretty bad. I think that's the one where they killed a turtle, like actually killed a live turtle. Pretty gross. Rocky Raccoon says, "Hey Matt, love the site to death. How do you feel about where Screen is right now as a website, and what is the top priority for you guys to move the site forward?" I think Screen is doing pretty well. I think we need more contributors. I think sometimes I dominate the front page with what I write because I write a lot. I write stuff before I go to bed. I get about 6 hours sleep. I get up and try to write more. Usually is the formula there. I put a lot of trailers. My name is on a lot of stuff, which I recognize is great for me because I like writing, but I recognize that other people need to have their inputs as well. And I want to make sure that our freelancers know that they have the freedom to write what they like. And I think we also need some new freelancers to come in and help with that load as well. So that's my priority. I have those freelancer emails in my inbox, and I need to go, oh my god, there's so many more. Oh, there's not that many more questions. I need to go back and read through all those. I've read through a few of them, kind of spot checked, and of course they range from the embarrassingly awful to the actually not terrible. I need to go back and read through them all though, and get some good ideas. Hopefully there's some really good ones in there. Hopefully some of you who sent stuff in will get back in touch with you. I'm really bad. I really hate reading reading samples. I really feel when something is bad, I feel personally awkward about it. Like, I'm so sorry that person really wants this job, but they're just not the best writer, and I feel bad for that kind of stuff. So I'm not very good at rejecting people. Hate that. Which is why it's so awkward being me, and it's good looking because all the girls are just always all over me, and it's really tough to turn them all down. And as a quick aside, I also love the new book club feature. By the way, I did get my copy of the M. Night Shyamalan book. Hopefully you have as well. Read it over the break or early next month, and we'll probably come back sometime around Christmas and talk about the book. Hopefully me and Dave can get in there and do something. Wow, burpee today. Any chance of making The Remains of the Day one of the books to read? I know you're mentioning you love the film. I haven't read the book, which is nutso because the book is far more powerful than the film. Wow, that reminds me a lot of something I was supposed to write about in a review. J. Edgar. Oh, J. Edgar. I didn't write the review of J. Edgar, but J. Edgar really reminded me a lot of Remains of the Day, and in the way that it's about. Remains of the Day is a very beautiful film about restrained love and being in love with somebody and not being able to tell them because of work or in case of J. Edgar, it's they're gay. So yes, we can definitely do Remains of the Day. I would love to read it. I've always been afraid of reading that book and having it wreck the movie for me or make me like the movie less. But Ishuo Kazuo Ishiguro? I forget the guy's name. I did read Never Let Me Go, which was quite good. So I'm sure the book is quite good as well. Yes, we can definitely do that. We will. We'll say it right now. Hey Rory, your love of books has been well documented over the past few videos, and I was wondering if you have any fiction books like fantasy or sci-fi that you're into, or if you tend to stay away from that stuff. Keep up the awesome work. Thank you, Tiny Great Aid. I have something to show you. Something to show you. Now you know I'm having a little bit. I'll be right back. 1 second. Oh, goodness. All right. So, yes, of course, I love sci-fi fantasy stuff. This is one of my favorite authors here, and I have almost every book of his. Kim Stanley Robinson. He did, I don't know if Mars books are in here or not, but almost all these books are signed first editions. I took a little time a little while back to start buying all these books of his in the signed first editions, which are Pacific Edge. Oh, is this the one I like? I told a girl on the bus the other day that this was a book that she should read. Yes, I was so right. Oh, thank God. Pacific Edge is the best book about zoning you will ever read in your life. I shit you not. That is what that book's about. But a lot more than that, obviously. What else do I have in here? So, Martians? I think the other ones are in another bag. But so I definitely do have my favorite authors here. But 40 Signs of Rain. And I think I have the original Pacific Edge, which is I love this book. Hard to describe why I love it so much, but I love the characters in it. And they're all signed. It was my little collection that I made a while back. I don't have his newest one. I have the book itself, but I don't have it signed yet. I should probably go on eBay and try to find a copy of it. Although he was here in town, I meant to go grab it. Anyway, so Kim Stanley Robinson I would recommend very highly. Lately I've been reading John Scalzi, the guy who did Old Man's War. Quite good. Unfortunately, so I have it on my Kindle recently. It's not quite doing too good. I think it cracked or the e-ink module broke or something like that. I need to get it replaced. I need to actually probably call them. I just hate talking to people on the phone. And they ask you to, if you have any Kindle problems, they ask you to call or give them your phone number so they can call you back. And I hate talking to people on the phone, so I haven't done that yet. So that's my Kindle. Unfortunately, I haven't been, and I also had the other. That was a very spazzy move. So my dad bought me a Kindle Fire for my birthday. The unfortunate thing is that you're never going to be able to see this, but there is a hello computer. There's a stuck pixel almost right in the middle of the screen, and I was so annoyed by it. See if I actually. There's no way you're gonna be able to see it anyways. But so I have this now too, and I'm not really a big fan. There's no way you're gonna be able to see it, but it's in there somewhere. A stuck pixel. And so far, it's a pretty cool little device, but I haven't. Again, I really have a hard time dealing with stuck pixels. Anything that makes shut down. Damn it. Just distracting, little distracting issue. Which is why I like books. But so yes, Kim Stanley Robinson, who I recommend. One problem with editing these videos is that you have to see me doing all this weird stuff on them. And we've broken the hour mark. Okay, almost over. I hope. I'm gonna start accelerating because my throat's hurting. What's your thoughts? This is from Shriek. What's your thoughts on Tim Burton and his movies? I really like nearly all of his film movies a great deal, but Ed Wood and Edward Scissorhands holds a special place in my movie heart. On the more silly side, you have to love Mars Attacks too. And I think I did a Defending Your Movie on Mars Attacks, which is one of my favorite absurd, stupid movies. That movie has some great humor in it. Burton has perhaps rightfully been accused of repeating himself recently. I'm not a fan of his late work or recent work. I like Big Fish a lot. I like Sleepy Hollow. I think he needs to break away from Helena Bonham Carter and Johnny Depp for a little while. Just find somebody else to be in a movie. It's a weird collaboration between them. I think the fact that Johnny Depp is in his movies allows him to skirt by with some weaker material than he probably would have to make if he had somebody else in those roles. But then again, he made Alice in Wonderland, which has made $1 billion, so he is not going to be hurting for projects anytime soon. He can indulge a little bit sometimes, but still, he did make a few fucking great movies. And then he do Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I'm pretty sure he did. So that right there is enough to Tim Burton. So break away from Danny Elfman too a little bit. Just find somebody else to do a movie score, because he does repeat a little bit too much with actors and the composer. So I would like to see him branch out a bit more than what he does. But definitely he's made some fucking great movies. Let me see what, if I had to pick a favorite Tim Burton, let me see what it'd be. Not Batman, not Batman Returns. I would. I never saw Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The first movie of that series is too goddamn good for me to ever. People talk about my remakes, and I'm usually like, "Oh, remakes are not too bad. No big deal." Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is untouchable to me. One of my favorite movies of all time. If I had to pick one, I'd probably say Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Sure. Yeah, not bad. Samfo, who is your favorite cartoon dog in TV or film? Wow, cartoon dog. Wow. I don't know. I don't think I have a love for cartoon dogs. I love real dogs. I love being able to pet them. Cartoon dogs, never been a big favorite, but probably I think we just did an Up. You probably see the Up bestie before you see my you see this. I don't know what the order is going to be, but Doug from Up. That puppy, love him. That part where he's, I hid under your porch because I love you. Oh, it's adorable. So I have a joke. A squirrel ran into a park and it died. It's funny because he died. I love Doug. Doug is one of my favorite characters in any animated film ever. And the fact that the dog is adorable enough. So that's their answer. Quick answer that time. Yeah. Have you ever seen Repo the Genetic Opera? Genetic Opera. If so, do you find it awesomely terrible or terribly awesome? Neither. I've not seen that movie, unfortunately. I've heard weird things about it. I like Anthony Head, but I haven't seen it. Can you please do a top 10 list for Giant Bomb this year? I don't even know if I played 10 video games all the way through this year. I've been off of World of Warcraft for quite some time, which is surprising. And I have played a few other things here and there, but not... My top 10 list would be probably the top 10... Obviously, the top 10 best games I played, but that would probably be about all the games I played, so that might be a little much. Hard to say what my favorite... I have to say Deus Ex might be my favorite game of the year so far. I think it quite a bit. Though Skyrim is making a run at it, of course. It's fucking... They do what they do. With the announcement... This is from Turbo Man. With the announcement of Arrested Development on Netflix and quality shows like Community being kicked out of the lineup, is the next couple of years finally going to be the time where television is completely overhauled by internet exclusives? Not the next couple of years, no. It's going to be a little while, but it eventually will happen. And I think when you have shows like Community that people love, I think Netflix would do well to try to snatch those up wherever they can. Community, I mean, 3 or 4 million people watch Community every week. If Netflix can get an extra 1 million subscribers to sign up and pay $9 a month for new Community episodes, even 1 million people would be a 10 million a year to 12 million a year, $12 million a year. $12 million a year. Math for Community. Tough. I don't think, there's no way they can make, I'm sure a budget for Community episode is probably, if you're going to do a 20 episode season of Community, that'd probably be more than $12 million. But still, you don't need to do 20 episodes on Netflix. You can do 10. Make it worth your while, break even, and get more subscribers, which is what they need. I think the Arrested Development thing is a good harbinger of them saying, well, hey, here's this cult thing that didn't quite do well enough on network television. It's not too expensive to make. I think they should look into picking up more canceled shows and keeping them on for another year. Good idea. Bad idea. Who knows? But no, it'll be a lot longer than that before television is overhauled by internet stuff. I give it more like 10, 15 before networks are really just kind of like, okay, it's all over IP stuff now. Davey O 520. How long do you think it will take for remakes of Star Wars to happen? Not reboots, but remake of a classic movie. I think George Lucas will have to be dead. I don't think even he is crazy enough to try remaking Star Wars. And I think even then, I don't think that'll ever happen, to be honest with you. I'm sure he has something in his will. And I apologize if I'm slurring now. I probably am. Probably should have drank less. I had a few before I started recording this. Hour and 10 minutes, wow. I'm sure Lucas will have something in his will about not being able to exploit the Star Wars movies for no remakes or whatever for 50 years, something like that. I have a feeling he'll probably make that pretty airtight. He's always said those are his baby. He doesn't want other people directing Star Wars movies, or at least now he says that. I don't think that'll ever happen. Sorry. I think we've come full circle on the questions. Wow. So I just got back to the Twilight question about how it makes him feel like he dies a little bit inside. I think that's all the questions we have. Which I just whispered, and I said it out loud a little bit louder after that. It's 12:30 now, 12:45, and now I have to start writing for tomorrow morning and probably get some reviews done and stuff like that. I'll be up for a while, probably. Anyways, hopefully this has been enjoyable for you, as it has been for me. Hope you like my snazzy outfit. I enjoy it quite a bit. I'm going to enjoy some bourbon. How about that? Thank you so much for coming to Screened and being a part of our community and paying part of my salary. Small part of it. But I do appreciate it all, and I appreciate the fact that you guys come back to screen a lot and visit our forums and everything like that. I know it's yeah, I like it. I like the way screen's going, and I hope that you guys enjoy it too. And always, if you have anything that you want to say, feel free to put it in the comments of one of these videos, or send me a PM or an email. PMs are. I'm really bad about answering any of that stuff right now. I really feel bad about it, but I will try my best to get back to everything that people send me. So if you have anything that you want to say, oh, I do want to. Somebody sent me a book, a copy of Walden, and I totally meant to say thank you, but I don't know if I brought the thank you note in from work, which I feel bad about now. I'll try to do it on maybe the podcast tomorrow. But somebody sent me a copy of Walden, which I really appreciate. Let me grab it real quick. Love. So one of our readers in Germany sent me a fresh copy of Walden, because I do love this book quite a bit. It's a new, edited and with an afterword. I don't know who this Joel Jeffrey Kramer person is, but I do always like reading introductions and things like that about Walden. See if anybody has any different opinions about it than I do. It's a nice edition. I like it. It's thick. It's good. It's a good, solid weight. So I do appreciate this. I forget your name, but I do have your thank you letter still, and I will write back to you at some point. I haven't read this either. It's not science fiction, but definitely recommend it, Walden. Anyways, I'm going to sign off now. I'm going to try and play maybe a little bit more Skyrim before I have to do a little bit more work. So I'm going to stop here, and you guys have... I'm shocked if you actually watched through this entire thing, but if you did, I really appreciate it. I'm going to try and get some work done now. All right, guys.